Me, overseas, I remember the day that the war started. We was sitting down watching TV, and I was all blurry, so I'm just like remembering watching TV, and my brother wanted to watch the soccer, and my mum had this Arabic series that she wanted to watch, and he's like, come on, I want to watch the soccer, and my mum was like, nah, forget it, just put this on the TV. All of a sudden the TV it was like a blue screen. Everything shut down. It was just a blue screen, and all you hear was like the gunshots from outside, and I'm like, what's going on? You know what I mean? It was like unbelievable. Went outside, we went to the roof of the building actually, and we were looking, and the sky was different. It was at night, and all you see was the gunshots in the air, just the warnings and everything. And we had to, because in our building we had this basement, basically an area under the house, where they call it douanier, this is the place where the boys hang out, have their gila, and you know. So we basically went under the house, and it was really bad. It was getting really scary. I remember I was shaking like I was freezing. Anyways, and I slept it off. The next morning, I look outside the window. All you see is soldiers, tanks. The sky was even different. The sky looked even different. It looked like a different country. And that's...
How did you feel? Was it mixed emotions, or...?
I didn't know what to think because I was a kid. I was like, what's this? What's happening? I know wars because I was watching Rambo cartoons, you know, like, that's all I know. I don't know if it's going to happen to me. I didn't know it was going to happen to us. So I didn't know what to think. I didn't know. I was like, what's happening? And I remember I was looking at, it's like, this is probably the scariest thing I've seen. It had nothing to do with violence, but it was, when I looked outside the balcony, and down our road, you see like thousands of soldiers marching down that road. Just marching down that road, and it was freaky. It was the scariest thing. Yeah, I remember that.
What did your parents tell you at that point?
I wouldn't remember what my parents told me, but I remember my parents clearly advising, that's the only thing I remember clearly, advising nobody get out of the house. No one was to get out of the house. My dad had to do runs to get breads, like full-on runs in his car to get bread and come back. And yeah, it was very scary.
How long did that go on for before you finally decided that you had to flee the country?
We stayed basically because it would have been hard to actually leave the country when it's time of war. We stayed a year, like basically after the war finished. We stayed another 2 years another year thinking about what we're going to do, another year planning to leave the country. And so in end of '93, that's when we left the country. So yeah, that's when we decided.
Do you know much about immigration law?
A bit, yeah.
Do you think that the Australian government's been too harsh on refugees, asylum seekers?
They're not opening their minds. Why are these people leaving their country for? You're going to have to ask those questions. People are fleeing their country for a reason, not because they just want to come and corrupt Australia. They don't have those thoughts. You know what I mean? There's people that are coming from a country that there's wars, there's killings, there's like disgusting stuff that we don't see in Australia, but they exist overseas. That's the reason why people are actually fleeing, to start a new page, like me, like my family. You know, that's the reason why we came to this country, and that's why most of the reason why these other people that are fleeing other countries, they're coming to Australia. Australians should feel grateful for that, because they're coming to Australia, you know, for a safer place. They're not coming to Australia to corrupt it. They're coming for a safer place. They're running away from their own country because there's wars, and they're coming to Australia for a safer place, for a new page, a fresh page, to start with their children.
Yeah.
You know, that's the reason why.
Yeah. And why are they going to wreck that?
Yeah,
they don't want to come and make trouble, so they can ruin the only place they've got to go.
But the thing is, you know, like, different cultures, different ways of living, still, you're going to have to accept that.
Go back to live in your homeland, would you? Or?
At this stage, no. I would love to go at this stage, no, because thinking about it ahead, if I was going to get married and have kids, is it the right place to live in? No, it's not. Australia has provided everything for me, and I reckon Australia would provide for my kids also. Once, hopefully, all the wars ends and everybody can actually shake hands and decide that we're only human, yes, I would love to. But besides from that, I won't.
That's the media that's caused people to think that way?
Definitely, it's the media. Because that's the focal point these days. People, I'm bored, what are we going to do? We're going to watch TV. Then they start seeing terror, this, that, Muslim, that, Middle Eastern. And it's just targeting. And if you say this on the news, if you keep watching it, of course you're going to be thinking, oh, these people are bad. Stay away from these people.